This is the Iron Orchid Designs Cotswold transfer, and while it's got two great big sign designs, but it has lots of little elements that you can break apart and turn into some smaller designs. I've cut out a few pieces of the typography from some of them, and then in a minute I will kind of fussy cut out some of the black design behind before I get started. This was a serving platter part to with an old fajita pan, and the fajita part got bought and this was left behind. So we're going to turn this into a serving tray and just give it a little bit of a light sand down before I add some darkened decrepit. Let's just give it a little wipe down, get some of the sanding off, and being a little wet will help with putting on some of the darkened decrepit patina. So I've mixed this like 50-50, watered it down with some water, get a little bit lighter. And we're just gonna add this to darken it up a little bit. I want the center to kind of be a little bit lighter, and then I'm gonna go with the full strength kind of around the edge. So I'm gonna let this sit a bit before I wipe it back. But then I'm going to go in and do a little bit of the full strength and give it a darker edge. Kind of adding in a bit of the dark, full strength, dark and decrepit. Sit for a few minutes before I wipe it back. So this was a layer of like 50% dark and decrepit and water in the middle, and then I went full strength on the outside, let it dry, and then I've added another coat of the dark and decrepit just along the edges, because I really want it to have that kind of dark, old, kind of tavern type look. Now I'm gonna kind of heat dry this and let that set up. So I have some pieces cut out from IOD Cotswold transfer that I think I've kind of figured out a placement for these. Right, so I'm kind of thinking something like this, and they'll kind of run off a little bit and still be able to be seen with these little handles I'm going to put on there. So each of the transfer packs come with a little plastic stick that you can use to transfer them onto your project. So I'm gonna peel it off from the backing and just kind of all eyeball my placement here. Let's kind of move this off. Let me see if I kind of like that. Yeah. So I'm just going to press it down and give it a nice little rub. And you can get them it wants to really stick nicely to this dark and decrepit patina. Just a little wave and can get that to come right on. Then kind of use the back of it and kind of just get it on down in there. See that? Alright. I'm going to carry on with placing them. So you know how it kind of has this like a slight curve down into, sometimes you can have a hard time doing the transfer. So I'll only remove part of the backing till I get my tricky parts first, and then I'm going to start with the O and move off so I can get it down into the curve. So I'm going to kind of push down with my O and get that portion transferred down in first. Then kind of ride up over the curve and push it down. See, it's on there now. And then finish off with the outside letters. Now I'm going to peel off the rest of this backing and just kind of let it place down, because my H will just kind of, just a little bit, go into the curve here. So then I'm going to go ahead and transfer that down. Right, and I'll kind of hold up a little bit on the edge as I'm placing it and adding pressure to transfer. Kind of helps give a little air underneath, and you can get it to transfer down really easy. So now that I have all my transfers down, I'm just really going to go back over with the back side of the transfer piece and just kind of really burnish them down into my project here. Give them a little there. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a light sand here. I actually think I'm going to grab a different grit. I'll be right back. Okay, I decided to grab a piece of 220 that's already been, used a bit, so it's a little bit softer, so I can start in with just a little light sand to kind of give it a little distress and push it down into my platter here. Just kind of knock the edge back a little bit. And give a little more worn look to it. Let's give it a little wipe off here. Kind of see if you can kind of see. It kind of just knocks it back a little bit. Right. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of Sweet Pickins dark oil wax to it. So I poured a little bit off into a little Dixie cup, and I'm just gonna add some, mostly to start around the edge, and then when I wipe it back, I will pull it into the center. Give it along the edge here. And then I'm going to use kind of a napkin here and just start kind of rubbing it in, but I'm gonna kind of pull it into the center, because I want the darkness to really stay along the edge, but still give it a nice, really pretty kind of a glow with the dark oil wax. And once that has a little bit of time to kind of really sink in, I will add some handles. Here it is, and it's finished up. Added handles to it, the old drawer pulls. I decided to give them a couple coats of DIY black velvet chalk paint with a little wet distress and a couple coats of clear matte sealer. I think it turned out pretty nice for an old wood tray and some leftover bits of transfer. Well, thanks for watching to the end, and I'll do a quick little stage before I take some pictures. Just gonna add in my let me know what you think, and what do you do with just leftover bits that don't have anything in mind for them.